Need my eye drop.
I get your cataracts removed or something. Me too. I did that quite a while ago. Mary Yo did too.
Yeah, oh, that was for Memorial Day then, you think? It's got the flags around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
And let's go back to this. Okay, we are live. You can check the meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll call the meeting to order. The first thing, we'll go ahead and do the roll call, which we have 5 of us here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 makes a quorum, so we're okay. And the minutes of the April 4th and May 2nd board meeting, are there any, have you got a chance to read the minutes? Is there any corrections or additions to the minutes?
Not that I-
If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of those 2 meetings. May 4th.
to approve both those minutes.
Okay.
April and May.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nope.
Okay,
Did you vote yes, Scott?
He did.
Okay.
I saw him.
Yes.
and so that's the minutes. And now on our agenda, we've got Music in the Park June concert. Was you gonna make some comments on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I wanted to note that Analog Maps that played at the last concert, I didn't notice this on their application, but they are donating their fee to the Philomath Performing Arts Benefit Fund.
Oh,
Oh, good.
So I just wanted to note that because that was really nice of them.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
was.
They let off now.
I wrote to them and said, I don't think I have an address for you. And they said, well, we checked the box. And they said they just really enjoyed our event and the crowd. And
Okay.
they said it was a very nice event and that we put on a good.
Yeah, we still didn't have anybody to pick up the money.
Was there nobody? Oh, you. took
And
it home, didn't
I
you?
think that was just
Because there was no
yeah.
one there to give it
That's
to.
right.
I think it was just an oversight. They intended to, and I think they just
So
maybe forgot
how
to.
much money was it? I can't remember what was in that.
I didn't look. I just kept it in the envelope and passed it on.
I
to
have
them.
it, in
You
my
have it, yeah.
envelope at home.
Okay, last year I asked them at the end of the
Yeah.
concert series how much we had donated and they gave us that number.
But in the
So I'll
question there,
again.
we had over $100.
I knew there
Probably,
was something, yeah, I didn't-
Okay.
I mean, I took it down and had the bank, I think they banked it. It's in the bank.
okay.
So do you have that, Joe, now, or any of those?
I
cards?
brought it back to City Hall. She has it now.
Okay,
Yeah, I have
That was
yours
your-
too.
well, it was. I was
It's,
just.
it wasn't her, she was holding it. I have them both right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought it up.
Yeah.
That's-
Work,
I
I'm
think-
still working on that.
I think Larry had mentioned there used to be like a little script or something. He bailed me out and kind of did the announcements at the beginning, but if we
So-
had that,
Yeah,
I
that-
sent an email out that had
oh,
talking
Sorry.
points and a bunch of stuff on it. It had a sheet for you all to use that had like phone numbers to call if there's an issue. And I think it had kind of a little script on it. But I will look at that too, if you can all look as well and see if you think you need that.
Well, I know, the way, it's what I thought when we was gonna let the band take a little break. He's
Yeah.
gonna talk about the sponsors and stuff.
In the middle.
Well,
Yeah, and I think that's what we talked about doing.
Yeah.
Yvonne, when she did it, the first concert, I think she was just really excited so she kind of forgot that and, but you know, she got the word out. But yes, we should double check that sheet, make sure that that has what you need on it. If it doesn't, I can update it. But I'm not gonna send it out every meeting. I'm
No,
trying to
no.
kind of streamline last year I did it for every meeting with every band.
Yeah.
But it's one more thing for me to try to remember and I don't want to be having people hanging on me and waiting. And
Being shy myself, I kind of have.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And then of course, having the band list with you is good, even if you just have the little flyer so that if you forget who's playing,
Correct.
you can remember who's playing. So that's always a good thing too.
The one thing I have a comment about, whoever's announcing, you can hear the people about halfway across the grass from the bandstand.
Mhm.
And beyond that, you can barely hear them, and
Yeah.
especially some of the senior citizen people have trouble hearing.
Yeah, the little PA system that we use that is not ours and we borrow
Okay.
does not, if you turn it up louder, it has feedback and
Oh, yeah,
you,
no, that's
it's
not
bad. So unfortunately, we can't get it to
Maybe you
project
can
much
just try
better.
and Talk a little louder.
Well, talk louder and hopefully we'll be able to use a microphone from the band if they will allow it.
Oh, I
We do
see.
need to
You hear
ask
the-
them
you hear the
permission,
music
but
okay, don't you?
Music, yeah,
Yeah,
but there's
see, they-
usually more than one player, though, that helps, you know.
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, but I'll make note of it because I know it is hard to hear back there.
Okay, so we got
Um,
anything else on the?
Yeah,
Music in
so
the park?
So who
yes.
is
Okay.
this injury?
Dale has the list. Dale, you want to tell us who's playing?
Let's see, on the. See the June 15th,
Yep.
the root
Oh,
vegetables,
yes.
jazz and funk. And June 25th is Phoenix
Oh.
folk pop.
So I'm not sure where we left off last time with signups. I know we solidified the signups for May. And I think we talked about coming to each monthly meeting and trying to get
Mhm.
volunteers solidified. I believe that Larry had said he could attend one or two of these June concerts. I'll have to look back and see what dates he said. But how's everyone else for attending the 15th or the 25th? So I can just put down
Yeah,
your general availability. And I can reach out to Yvonne and Rose.
I think the 25th I can do.
I
I'm
could,
available the 25th, but not the 15th.
Okay,
I'm not certain about the 15th. Yeah,
and so if the 15th is on, it's the Sunday one,
that's the Thursday one.
the Thursday.
third one, okay,
So you'll probably be there for Lions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm putting you down.
okay.
Um,
Well, I don't help with their food prep. and all that
I know,
stuff.
but you usually go.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll check with Larry, Yvonne and Rose. And Scott, what did you say for your availability?
Available the 25th, but not the 15th.
25th, okay. And Tyler? Okay. I had an appointment come up that I cannot attend the one on the 15th, so I did ask Chris Workman to attend, so I will give him the supplies. He'll bring them,
Oh.
and he should be around there, so if anyone has
you-
questions, he'll be there.
I usually go to all of them, so I could fill in if somebody doesn't
Yeah.
like it.
Well, as of right now, you're the only confirmed for the 15th. So it might be the Dale Collins show. There is a Dale Collins
Not as
part.
shy as
so-
I am, that one.
Yeah, I know. But I will touch bases with Larry and Yvonne and Rose too to see.
If I can be
Their
there,
availability.
I will.
Okay,
It's not-
I just put you down as a maybe.
Thank you.
Okay, and so that's good. Sounds like we have those covered. The only other thing I'm trying to work on is to see if it's possible for us to store the jug and the sign
Mhm.
at the park somewhere. The new restrooms I know have a storage go-between
Oh,
in the middle of them, and so I was gonna ask Public Works if it's possible if we did that, and then I could, hand a key off to someone so that you have it and we're not hauling them around. So I'm still looking into that.
is that not gonna be a janitor's closet or something?
It is, but it's pretty big and
So that, and the signs will be there too then,
hopefully the sign, the sandwich board and the jug. It would be nice if we could keep
Yeah,
it on
good.
site
Makes sense.
and have,
I don't know if they could be stored possibly inside that
In
building.
the building.
yeah, I'm not
It's
sure
on-
where, I mean, the only issue is that people rent that space, so, but I'm gonna talk to Public Works to see if they can help us try to come up with a plan that might work better.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's been a struggle.
Thank you.
Okay, does anyone have anything else to say about music in the park? T-shirts, I'm gonna be picking up t-shirts, this
Get
week.
Pockets.
We didn't get pocket sale, sorry.
You have to
You're
put
gonna
your
have to
fingers
just,
somewhere.
yeah. You have to roll it up in your sleeve. There you go.
Thank God I got rid of that nasty habit.
Yeah, no kidding. But I'll be picking up your t-shirts and then I'll send an email out for that. So,
Okay,
yeah, so that's exciting.
okay,
Yeah, I
let's,
must say, I was pleased to see the crowds that have been coming, and everybody is enjoying it very much.
Good. Okay, all I
So,
have for that.
skate park feasibility design study project, is
What
anything
about
going?
park update?
Yeah.
Sorry. That's
Oh, park update.
We're on park updates.
Yeah, let's go back to
on
park
skate park.
updates. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we're there. We're gonna start with skate park.
A and B.
okay.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna share my screen here. Oh, this mouse is very
Oh,
finicky. What's this? Shade. Okay. So we got 3 proposals for the skate park design and feasibility study
Wow,
project.
okay.
We scored them. We had a scoring criteria. 3 staff members reviewed them and scored them. And the bid went to Grindline, which is a company, I believe they're out of Washington, Seattle area. Grindline.
Is there a start date that they're gonna do that? or-
So this week sometimes should be, they had a schedule, but it took us a little bit longer to get back to them, so they're redoing their schedule. They're gonna throw some dates out in about 3 or 4 weeks. They're going to come down and look at the sites with staff. We're gonna give them a list of the sites that we have. And then they're gonna hold the public meeting that night to get people to come in and give public input. They are also going to put a survey, simple survey out ahead of that meeting so that they can have the results for the meeting. I had a kind of a kickoff meeting with them. Really professional, know what they're doing, done this before, energetic.
Where's that one?
This one.
I thought I saw something.
Yeah, these won't say where they are down here, but I was just gonna show you.
Is that Corvallis?
No.
No.
That's one of the ones that you.
Ian.
Oh,
It does look kind of like Corvallis in that picture, but it's not.
they designed, the Green Line designed that one?
Redline to design and built these.
This is
That
their-
looks more like what you need for,
I think somebody, I read in
Multi-use.
the paper something that the one in Corvallis, he's having a heck of a time because it flooded under there.
Oh,
oh,
You know,
well,
that,
they
This
are
is-
updating. What is up with this? Every time I try to screen share, I'll forget. Okay, here we go.
Oh, cool.
So they have the
Few.
map, with- they have a few, and they have them, oh, most of these skate parks have them kind of all over the world.
Where's that? Further south one already.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
This is Myrtle Creek. It's
Oh,
kind of an
okay.
older
Uh-huh.
one, 2008. But they do, part of why we liked them is that we felt like their parks were, they do some really large parks, but they had done quite a few of these smaller ones, and they looked nice. When you looked at their photos of like their build process, it looked like,
is that ice?
no, that's concrete.
okay.
Yeah.
That looks like plenty of room for younger kids to swirl around. in.
Yeah, it's just, we'll have to see how much
Where's that at?
space we have,
But,
Oh, this is Jacksonville.
oh, that's Jacksonville.
Yeah, their pictures are kind of hard to see on here.
Hmm.
I think they might have a couple others down here. Some of the sites, they don't
Huh,
have
that's
multiple
interesting.
pictures. They just have kind of a little showcase. They did give us, in their proposal, they had some more pictures of places that they felt were similar to what we were looking for.
What are we?
Well, we have the feedback from a number of years ago now. I think primarily what we're looking for is something that the city can afford and that we can get fundraising for. So the sky is not always the limit. So that's one thing, but I think what we're looking for is something that has some more interest to it. And some areas for like people to use scooters, skateboards, bikes, just
Right.
so they can use multiple
Are
products.
they going to repair the old one and?
No,
So that's gonna go.
yeah, that'll go away.
And
So
are we doing it at the city park where the one is now, or where's the?
we're looking at different locations. So that's one location. We've got potentially some spaces out here. So when we had our park master plan done, the consultant on the park master plan recommended their placement of the skate park. for one. And then they recommended that we look at some other locations. A lot of people like the location where it is because it's close to the schools, which is a plus. And there's bathrooms there. So, you know, it may just very well end up right back there, but we just want to make sure that we look at, you know, if you're going to build a whole new structure, let's look at the sites that we have and make sure that we, you know, get some input and feel like those are the good spots to have it.
Also, that's the city park, so you expect things to be in the city park, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah, so we'll be looking at those sites and,
Would it be a possibility it can go over on the other side of the Dune Creek goes through that park?
Oh, on the other field.
it- you know, maybe, might be a possibility.
I think that would be a better place.
Yeah, I know it floods more over there, but
Yeah, I was gonna mention the flooding because if you look at this structure they have here, I've installed some large concrete structures at work, and something like that will actually float out of the ground if
Yeah.
it floods.
yeah. So I did let them know when I met with them that we, you know, have a lot of wetland areas, very wet soils here. So I give them a heads up on that's what you're coming into, just so you know. So they'll, you know, they've obviously done just a lot of work. So we're not worried about them. There's a reason that they came out on top, and I think that a lot of their work is in Washington because that's where they've started. So they are used to some wet areas for sure up here, you know. So I just yeah, I think they're gonna be really good to work with. Like I said, I had a good meeting with them, but I just wanted to show you all kind of what they're about, where they came from. So yeah, so it'll be interesting.
Did they do Toledo, Oregon?
No, I think that's Washington, maybe.
Oh, I just do.
Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that project, and I'll keep you posted. I will send out as soon as I have dates for the meeting. I'll send that out early to you so that you all can hopefully be there and have input too.
Can I, wait, is he one of the things on?
I just gonna say, is he just, I mean, I think she's a nice gal, but she got to be kind of a nuisance.
She's just excited about the park.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
She
have
is.
kind of kept her full of, like, she did reach out fairly recently. The next will be that there is something, there's gonna be survey, hopefully pretty soon within the next month, and a meeting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have on my list to reach out to some people. There are other people who have kids, like their parents, that also gave us letters of support, and I intend to reach out to them as well. Because I know they're pretty engaged in, you know, seeing this happen. So,
I know we had a school teacher, her family that was
That's
really
right.
interested.
and I think she might be one of them that I have on my list. Yeah.
When you say that over here, there was some site
Yeah.
potential, are you talking about like actually right behind the building here?
Yeah, maybe like here,
That's
over
pretty good
here,
field out there.
maybe.
Pretty good field. I do feel like it's far away from a lot of residential stuff.
Yeah.
Like over there.
Right.
Applicants would have a lot more access.
Yes.
Kind of where it is right now. is
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah, and it's
Especially
in,
with all the new construction too, they're all
Mhm.
pretty relative
Yep.
to the city park as well.
and this back here is in a floodplain too, so
Oh,
that's.
yeah.
Yeah, depending on where you are here, it's,
Yeah.
we have a lot of that. I mean, I'll just say that most of the properties that we
Yeah.
own, that we don't already have a city building on, have
Yeah.
that as an issue. So
Yeah.
we'll see what they have to say. I mean,
And you
they
said-
could say, you need to start looking for another site in town.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hard to say.
And you said that meeting is gonna be in 2 weeks.
They said probably about 3 or 4 weeks, so they're
Okay.
supposed to send me out some dates, this week. Of course, this week is, you know, on its way, so I'll check in with them again and see where they're at.
It's really nice to see they got the sign up on the Paul Cochran, because that's been set in limbo for quite a
Okay.
while.
Mhm.
And then they put flags around them because of the.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
that's
look, I
nice.
see them. It's not far from my house.
So should we move on to Paul Cochran?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I believe that Public Works is taking the Paul Cochran construction contract to the council next Monday.
Oh, good.
So we did have, I think, 3 bids for that project, and the low bidder was selected, and so that's gonna go to the city council for approval. Hopefully that'll all go through.
Did everyone get,
Mid Valley Gravel.
Oh, great.
did everyone get the copy of this concept of the play equipment and stuff?
Oh,
Did
yeah,
she
I
mail
see
that?
that. I emailed it out. Okay,
Yeah, she mailed, I got mine.
yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was waiting for this bid to be more solidified before I put the order in, because I don't want something to go askew and we end up with a bunch of playground equipment sitting at Public Works. That would make them cranky.
Well, let's do it.
Okay, they could though. We could just say, hey, you can play on it, right? But yeah, so hopefully that is going to be awarded, we hope, and so we'll be moving ahead with that soon. So that's exciting news. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Any other questions about Paul Cochran Park?
I guess not. It sounds like it's moving along.
Okay, so
Part of the construction contract, that they tell you how long they think it'll take them to get it done.
Yes, I'm sure that they had a schedule in the bid documents are immense, and I actually did not read through all of them. They went through our city engineers mostly, so I don't know exactly what their timeline was, but yeah, as soon as they get solidified, we'll try to get some more information for you also, that you know how it's gonna move forward.
Your daily and what's the project?
Yeah, there you go.
okay, so anything else in the Paul Cochran?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so that's board, see board member updates, time for board members to share anything park related.
Anyone have any updates they'd like to share?
I don't think so.
I
I
don't
think
think
we
it's
talked about the two main things.
Okay,
Oh, there was one thing. The sign for the Mary's River Park
Mhm.
should be indicating that it's and Naturescape Park,
right.
but it's not there yet.
Yeah, so Sandy Heath did email me today, and Rose was gonna check in with the sign maker that she knows, so
Oh.
she's has renewed her reminding of
Mhm.
herself to do that, and so she's gonna check in with them and see if they're interested in that. And I think that's where it's at. Aside from that, we could see if Public Works can scrounge up any money to try to buy a sign. I think
Mhm.
the question was that the sign that's there, I guess, is not very old. The River Park that was made. And so the thought was to just try to add a sign to it. But
I thought there was a group coming in that was gonna do that, make it, paint it and do all that stuff to it.
I don't know.
Like high school group?
No, they were some group out of Corvallis, I think. When it was
Hmm.
part of that weed pulling group,
Oh, no, I don't think they were doing the signs. Yeah, they just do vegetation.
but there was one person that,
Oh,
you mean
person.
they're cleaning up the trees.
there was one person that it's probably in the record somewhere around here.
Well, I think it's the person that Rose knows. That
Yeah,
person made that sign and donated it for the
Oh,
disc
okay.
golf.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Okay, that's.
yeah, it's that person. So
Yeah.
she was gonna ask them if they're interested in doing a
Okay.
sign for that,
Mhm.
either as a donation or if they're interested and want to give us the cost for it, just,
Okay.
something. And they do the wood sign, so they could make something that could go with the sign that's there.
I have a
Okay.
question for you and Scott both. How do you guys, what am I trying to say here? Anything you'd like or dislike about being on the park board? You don't both
It's,
have to answer
it's
the
a
same.
little bit different from what I thought, I guess. But I like it. I really had fun at that music event. I felt like I could have been a little more helpful, but I'll get there now that I've been to one and know what to expect. But
I've always,
Yeah.
some way I've always felt that a park is important to your community. A nice
Yeah.
park.
yeah, absolutely, I'm aligned with that. I guess I thought we would be more. I think we're kind of further ahead in the process than I realized. We're looking to the future of future parks, where I thought we would be more involved with, like what you said, the city engineers were reviewing the bids and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But that's fine.
Yeah, and sometimes the board does, it is an advisory board. So sometimes, yes, it kind of depends on the project and the timeline on it. Sometimes just the you know, if the council doesn't have to approve something and it's a staff level thing, sometimes it just goes through the staff level and it's faster, because the reality is if it's something that has to come here and wait for a meeting, then go to the council at the next meeting, you know, those things can take some time. We do have things. There just hasn't been anything since you've been here, but we've had things like the Cochran Park is an example. We brought all the design came through here for like preliminary, like the way that the memorial was going to generally look, and all that stuff came through this board and then was recommended to the council. So you will see things like that. I just think that there hasn't quite been anything like that. The skate park will be something more like that. So you'll be involved in the process as board members.
I'm glad to hear that. I didn't realize the skate park was something that was on the table when I got on here, but I'm glad that it is.
Yeah.
I grew up skateboarding a lot. And
great.
Our skate park was always not where I wanted to go.
Sure.
Because Corvallis is right there.
Right.
Better.
Right.
And so being involved with hopefully replacing that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, and that's something, a lot of what park board members do too is you all know people and have contacts of some sort around the community. And so being kind of a diplomat for the parks basically is also a really important role that you serve. So when we have something like the skate park, you know, public input meeting, surveys, like we really rely on our volunteers and our board and committee members to help us with that. So we're pretty small. We usually Facebook post things. So if you're not already following the city, please get on social media and follow us. And then we look to you as park board members to kind of share that stuff, you know, because you do serve an important role in the community and people do look up to that. And so many hands, you know, make light work. And but yes, there will be things like that coming through the park board. You kind of have come in the middle of some of those processes. So yeah.
We went up to, Chris took some of us, I think Linda, you was in on the one, and we went up and sit down with the people to get the money for the Flossie Overman Park.
Yes.
And there was 23 applicants up there and we came in third. By going up and sitting down with them and explaining what we wanted. We were a small town. We only had parks on one side in a main state highway, you know, that comes through town. And so they fell for it and gave us the money.
Yeah, they did. There were hundreds of people.
Yeah, there was, I think there was 5 of us. We went up in the city car and Chris bought us lunch or after the meeting. I think it was Chinese food, wasn't it?
So anyway, yes, I think the skate park is a good example, and the skate park is going to be a fundraising effort as well. So we're going to need matched funds. And so
from the citizens
from whoever supporters. And so we're going to be working as a board, and by we, I also mean you as a board and me as a staff member, to maybe get the Build a Better Skate Park formed more into a supporters of skate parks. Most communities that build skate parks have a formal group that does the primary fundraising, you know, is doing a lot of that outreach and building that volunteer base. So it, you know, those are the types of things that we have coming up. But yeah, in Cochran Park, a lot of the decision making has already kind of been made for Cochran Park, but there may be some things that come up as well still.
Because that's a kind of it's a more specialized park than some of the others.
It is, yeah, it has some unique needs to it. But again, even Cochran Park has a lot of opportunity coming up with the build and the pavilion and the playground. You know, we're going to look for a volunteer effort for that. So I think there's a lot of exciting things like that as well. But also, if you have ideas, email me and say, hey, these are things that we would like to look at talking about on the park board or having input on. And we can, you know, talk about adding those things. So don't feel like you can't speak up and say those things as well. So
it seems to me too that concerning the skate park, once it gets to a certain point, we should be sending notices to all the schools, like right from the little kids, just so that perhaps before that meeting or something like that.
Yeah,
So that
Rules
they
out
know,
now.
their parents
I know.
go and listen and see what it's all about.
yeah, I wish that, I think our meeting, we'll see if I can get the date. I mean, it's gonna be like, if I can, it's gonna be right before school is out, but we'll see if we can, if we can, we're gonna try to get it out to the schools before they get out.
Do you think we could go through anything with the chamber?
I mean, we can, the chamber's always happy to put stuff on
I
too,
mean,
but,
we could have someone go up and talk at one of the
oh, the meetings.
Oh,
meetings.
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I think at some point when we're looking
Yeah.
for fundraising and,
Yeah.
yeah, that would make sense,
Yeah.
but. Yeah, so, anyway, feel free to reach out if you have things you'd like, questions, things you'd like to talk about. Just let me know.
Good.
Okay, so anything else?
I don't think we have anything else going on at the moment.
I don't think so. We're kind of just music in the park and
one-
getting that,
Essentially 2 parks getting
yeah,
built.
yeah, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So if we have nothing else, the meeting stands adjourned.
Okay, 6:02 PM. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
remotely, Scott.
Somebody took it away from
Yeah, thanks for having this. That was pretty convenient for me.
me.
All right.
City
Good
manager
luck.
used
We'll
to
see you
tell me,
later.